Okay, let's start our discussion. And in this lecture, I am going to discuss a few multiple choice questions and one or two problems on vibrational spectroscopy. Yeah, let's begin with question number 1. The unharmonicity constant of a diatomic molecule in the ground electronic state is 0.005. The vibrational quantum number V max is equal to, okay, unharmonicity is given, so this is problem number 1. Unharmonicity, that is Xe, is given, which is equal to 0.005. Okay, and the question they have asked here is V max. What's the value of V max? Unharmonicity constant is given, V max we need to find out. Yeah, we know there is a direct relation available between these two. Okay, V max equal to 1 by 2 times Xe minus 1. Okay, it's a direct relation between V max and unharmonicity constant. Okay, so by substituting this value you can find V max directly. So what is V max? V max equal to 1 by 2 times the value of Xe is 0.005. we can write this as 5 into 10 power minus 3, and here we have minus 1. Okay, and you know real 2 into 5, 10 into minus 3, 10 into 10 power minus 3 is 10 power minus 2. 10 power minus 2, when you bring it to the numerator, it will become 10 power 2. 10 power 2 is 100, so 100 minus 1, you will get the answer as 99. Okay, so for this unharmonicity constant, okay, the maximum vibrational quantum number possible for the ground electronic state is 99. So the correct option for this question is option C. Okay, so the correct option for this question is option C, 99. Okay, yeah. Now let me go to question number 2. Question number 2. In question number 2, yeah, what is asked is the frequency for 0 to 1 transition is 1500 centimeter inverse, and the frequency for 0 to 2 transition is 2900 centimeter inverse, are appeared in the IR spectrum of a diatomic molecule. Okay, so since it's IR spectrum, so this is 0 to 1 transition correspond nothing but fundamental transition, and 0 to 2 transition, okay, 0 to 2 is called first overtone transition. Okay, the frequency of fundamental transition and the frequency of first overtone transitions are given. Using that, we need to find out the unharmonicity constant of the molecule is. Okay, yeah, how to do that? So we know very well the frequency. Okay, what is given here? Frequency for 0 to 1 transition is 1500 centimeter inverse. Okay, this value is given, and frequency for first overtone transition 0 to 2, that is also given. The value is 2900 centimeter inverse. Okay, and we know very well fundamental frequency can be given as 1 omega e bar into 1 minus 2 xe. Okay, this relation also we know. The fundamental frequency or the spectral line, the frequency of the spectral line which appear for the fundamental transition is equal to omega e bar into 1 minus 2 xe. Omega e bar is the equilibrium vibrational frequency, and xe is the unharmonicity constant, which is equal to 1500. Okay, or I can also write, if you multiply inside, you will get omega e bar into 2 into xe into omega e bar equal to 1500. I'll take this as equation number 1. Similarly, for first overtone transition, we can write this as 2 into omega e bar into 1 minus 3 xe equal to 2900. If I multiply inside, I'll get 2 into omega e bar minus 6 into xe into omega e bar equal to 2900. I'll take this as equation number 2. So if you solve equation 1 and 2, you will get the value of omega e bar and xe value. Okay, so how to do that? what I'm going to say, in the question they have asked unharmonistic constant. Okay, they have asked Xc. So what I'm going to do, I will multiply throughout this equation by 3. Okay, I'll multiply equation 1 by 3. So I'll get 3 into omega e bar minus 6 into Xc into omega e bar equal to 1500 into 3, you'll get 4500. And I'll keep equation 2 as such. That is 2 into omega e bar minus 6 into Xc into omega e bar equal to 2900. Okay, so if you subtract, you have to change the sign. Okay, so 3 omega e bar minus 2 omega e bar is omega e bar, and here these two cancel. 4500 minus 2900 will give you 15 minus 9, 6, 3600. So equilibrium vibrational frequency is 1600 centimeter inverse. Okay, now we need to calculate what's the value of Xc. So we have to substitute this in equation 1 or in equation 2. Let me put it in this equation, that is equation number 1. Okay, so in the place of omega e bar, I'll put this value. Okay, so 1600. Let me write here. So the equation is omega e bar into 1 minus 2Xc equal to 1500. In this equation, in the place of omega e bar, I'll substitute the value. So what we'll get? Omega e bar value is 1600 into 1 minus 2Xc equal to 1500. Okay, or 1 minus 2Xc equal to 1500 divided by 1600. 2 zeros cancel, or I'll bring minus 2Xc to right hand side and 15 by 16 to the left hand side. So if you do like that, I can write 2Xc equal to 1 minus 15 by 16, which is equal to 16 minus 15 is 1 by 16. Okay, or Xc equal to 1 by 32. 1 by 32 is roughly 0.10, 0, 100, 100 means 3. So the value should be around 0.03 something. Okay, and we have only one option having this in this range. So this is option number C. Okay, so the correct option for this question is option C. Okay, 0.03125. Right, so the correct option for this question is option number C. Right, so if fundamental vibrational transition frequency and the first overtone transition frequencies or second overtone transition frequencies are given, okay, you can solve, you can write two linear equations, okay, based on the frequencies given, and by solving the two equation we can get the value of omega e bar as well as Xc. But in this question they have asked only Xc, so the value is 0.03125. Okay, so the correct option for this question is option number C. Okay, then the next question, the number of stretching vibrations in methanol is, okay, number of, see, read the question carefully, they are not asking number of normal modes, they are asking stretching vibration alone. Okay, so we should be a little careful here. Yeah, so question number 3, number of stretching vibrations, you know very well, number of normal modes. Okay, let me calculate stretching frequency directly. Number of stretching vibrations, this depends on whether the molecule is cyclic or acyclic. Okay, suppose if the molecule is acyclic molecule, then number of stretching vibration equal to n minus 1, that is number of bonds. Okay, if the molecule is a cyclic molecule, then we should calculate the stretching vibration by using the formula n. Okay, because for a cyclic molecule there will be n bond, okay, for a particular formula, right? So now the question asked is number of stretching vibration in methanol.
In methanol we have CH3OH. We have totally 6 atoms, right? 1 carbon, 3 hydrogen, 4 plus 1 5, 5 plus 1 6. So we have totally 6 atoms. So 6 minus 1 you'll get, methanol is acyclic, therefore 6 minus 1 you'll get 5. So number of stretching vibrations for methanol is 5. Okay. Yeah, see, this is actually a very simple question. You know very well how to calculate a number of stretching vibration, number of bending vibration, and total number of modes of vibration, right? Number of modes, total number of modes can be calculated using the formula 3n minus 5 for linear molecule and 3n minus 6 for non-linear molecule. But here in this question they have asked only stretching for vibrations, so that's why I'm using this formula. Okay, yeah, keep this in mind, very important. Then question number 4, let me write here. So for question number 3, the correct option is B. Okay, yeah, the question number correct option is B. Right, next one, question number 4. Let me go to question number 4. Sum of delta G for a molecule in the ground electronic state is. What is meant by sum of delta G? Yeah, sum of delta G values. You know very well, suppose if you have a ground electronic state like this, and you know very well there are so many vibrational levels. As we go above and above, the gap between adjacent level decreases. So this is the gap between the V0 and V1 level, and this is the gap between 1 and 2. This is the gap between 2 and 3. As we go above and above and above, what will happen? Delta G value decreases. And at Vmax, once you reach Vmax, okay, delta G value becomes 0. Okay, if you add all the delta G values, you will get this energy. Okay, this energy is nothing but the dissociation energy. Okay, since the electronic state is a ground electronic state, okay, in the question it is given clearly, ground electronic state, I'll put D0 double prime. Okay, and we usually represent, see here delta G is not change in free energy, here delta G is actually change in the vibrational energy or the gap between adjacent, energy gap between adjacent vibration levels. Okay, so delta G is the gap between adjacent vibration level in wave number. Therefore the sum of delta G values, okay, will give you dissociation energy of the ground electronic state in wave number unit D0 double prime. Okay, so for question number 4, the correct option is D0 double prime. Okay, a tidy symbol. The tidy symbol indicate the energy should be in wave number unit. So the correct option for this question, right, is option B. Option B, that is D0 double prime. Okay, sum of the delta G means the energy gap between adjacent vibration level. Okay, if you add all the delta G values for a given electronic state, you will get the spectroscopic dissociation energy of the molecule. Okay, yeah, this is very important, keep this in mind. So for question number 4, the correct option is B. Okay, then let me go to the next question. Question number 5. The distance between first P branch line and the first R branch line in the IR spectrum of a diatomic molecule is under Born-Oppenheimer approximation. That means Born-Oppenheimer approximation we should apply. That means there is no interaction between rotation and vibration. Okay, so for question number 5, if you apply Born-Oppenheimer approximation, it means there is no interaction between rotation and vibration. So rotation and vibration motions are independent. Okay, under this situation, we can say that there are lines appeared in P branch and R branch, and what is the distance between the first P branch line and the first R branch line? Okay, the distance is actually 4b, right, in the spectrum, right. This is actually the band origin, you can say. Let us draw like this. This is the first first P branch line, and this is first R branch line, right? So the gap, if you see, the gap should be equal to 4b, right? The gap, the distance between the first P branch line and the first R branch line in the IR spectrum of a diatomic molecule, right, under Born-Open approximation is equal to 4b, right? So the correct option for this question is option B, right? So in the class discussion, right, I have given all these informations, right? So you can go through that, okay, if you have any doubt. Then question number 6. The first hot transition appears at a frequency of a diatomic molecule is. At what frequency first hot transition will appear? Right? You know very well the frequency for fundamental transition, that is 0 to 1 transition, is omega E bar into 1 minus 2xe. Similarly, the frequency for first overtone transition 0 to 2 equal to 2 times omega E bar into 1 minus 3xe. Or the second overtone transition 0 to 3 equal to 3 times omega E bar into 1 minus 4xe. Like that it goes. And the first hot transition, that is 1 to 2, first hot transition will appear at a frequency of omega E bar into 1 minus 4xe. Okay, these derivations and all we have already discussed. Okay, so I am giving you the formula directly. So this is the frequency for first hot transition. Okay, so first hot transition appears at a frequency of omega E bar into 1 minus 4xe. So the correct option for this question is option C. Okay, so the correct answer for this question is option C, omega E bar into 1 minus 4xe. Then let me go to the next question, question number 7. Question number 7. Yeah, in question number 7, see rotational constant B1 1.898 and rotational constant B0 1.915. This is rotational constant for the ground vibrational state, and this is rotational constant for the first excited vibrational state. Okay, these values are given. Find the value of alpha and the equilibrium rotational constant. Okay, so we need to find out these two. Yeah, how to do that? You know very well, this is actually the case where rotation and vibration interact, or Born-Open Eimer approximation breakdown, right? So here the rotational constant depends on the vibrational state. BV equal to BE, equilibrium rotational constant, minus alpha. Alpha is the rotation vibration interaction constant, rotation vibration interaction constant, into V plus half. This is actually a direct formula. Okay, actually we have other higher terms also there, but the contribution of higher terms are usually negligible. Okay, so under that assumption we can write BV equal to BE minus alpha into V plus half. V is nothing but vibrational quantum number, alpha is vibration rotation interaction constant, B is equilibrium rotational constant, and this is rotational constant for a given vibrational state. Okay, now the value for B0 and B1 are given. Okay, B0 value and B1 values are given. What we have to do is that we need to write an equation, two linear equations. Okay, so for B0 we can write this as BE minus alpha into B0 means V value is 0. If I put V value 0 here, I'll get 1 by 2. So I'll get alpha by 2. Okay, and B0 value is given, that is 1 point. So I can write BE minus alpha by 2 equal to the value of B0 is 1.898 centimeter inverse. Okay, so I'll take this as equation number 1. Okay, then the second equation, that is put BV in the place of V, put 1, B1. B1 equal to BE minus in the place of V should put 1. 1 plus 1 by 2 is 3 by 2. So I'll get 3 alpha by 2 here. 3 alpha by 2, right? Or I can write BE minus 3 alpha by 2 equal to the value of B1. B1 value is given, which is 1.915. BB value, yeah, this is sorry, B1 value is 1.898. This is actually B0. B0 value is B1.915. Okay, and here we should put 1.898. I'm sorry. This is equation number 2. Okay, so if you solve these two, you'll get the value of BE and alpha. Okay, so how to do that? Simple. Subtract equation 2 from equation 1. So if you subtract, what will happen? B cancels. Here you will have minus alpha by 2. Here we have minus or minus become plus 3 alpha by 2. So 3 alpha by 2 minus alpha by 2 will give you alpha. So alpha equal to, we need to subtract 1.915 minus 1.898. So this will give you 15 minus 8 is 7. Okay, here 0, 10, 0, 1, 8, 8, 0, 1, 0. So you'll get alpha value as 0.017. Now substitute this alpha value here. Okay, in equation 1 or equation 2, you can calculate the value of BE. Right? So let me do it in the next page. What's the value of BE? So if I substitute this in equation number 1, BE minus, in the place of alpha I'll put this 0.017 by 2, alpha by 2 minus 1.915. So BE minus 0.008 times 6, 16, balance 1, 5, 1.915. Bring this term to the left hand side. So BE equal to 1.915 plus 0.0085. So if we add these two, 1.9150, let me write like this, and 0.0085, if you add, you will get 5, 13 plus 1, 2, 9, 1.9235. Okay, that's the value of BE in centimeter inverse. So if B1, B0 values are given, or any other vibrational state, rotational quantum number, rotational constant value are given, you can write two linear equations, and by solving the two linear equation, you can calculate the value of BE and alpha. Okay, yeah. So very simple one, and this is the method we should follow. Okay. Now let me go to the next question. That is question number 8. The distance between first Stokes line and the Rayleigh line in the rotational Raman spectra of a diatomic molecule is. Okay, you know very well. Question number 8. The scattered frequency for Stokes lines. Okay, scattered frequency for Raman Stokes lines equal to incident frequency minus the Raman shift, which is equal to B into 4J plus 6. This is the formula for diatomic molecule. Okay, right? If I put J equal to 0, I'll get the first Stokes line, right? So the first Stokes line, the scattered frequency for the first Stokes line equal to you have to put J0 here. If you put J0, you'll get 6B. So nu I bar minus 6 times B. Okay, so Rayleigh line is nothing but the frequency corresponds to the incident radiation, right? This will give you the Rayleigh line. Okay, this is Rayleigh line, and the first Stokes line will appear 6B less than incident frequency. So suppose if this is the first Stokes line, okay, first Stokes line will appear, right, 6B less compared to the incident frequency. So this is nothing but nu I bar minus 6B. nu I bar minus 6b. So the distance between these two is actually 6b in the spectrum, right? So the correct option for this question is option B. Okay, yeah, option B. Then let me go to the next question. Question number 9. The selection rule for rotational Raman spectra of a diatomic molecule. It's a direct question. Delta J value. Since they've asked rotational Raman spectra, so it should be delta J plus or minus 2. Okay, delta J 0 corresponds to Rayleigh line. Delta J plus or minus 2 corresponds to Raman lines. Okay, so for this question the correct answer is option C. Right, then let me go to the next question. The transition V equal to 2 to 3 of a diatomic molecule is called. We know very well 1 to 2 transition, V equal to 1 to V equal to 2 is called first Hart transition. First Hart transition. Okay, V equal to 2 to 3 is called a second Hart transition. Second Hart transition. Right, usually the second Hart transition, third Hart transitions, right, these transitions theoretically we can say, but the appearance of these signals, right, in the spectrum is it require very high temperature, but the intensity of these signals are very poor, so it is very difficult to see these lines, okay, in the spectrum, right? Yeah, anyway, since it is asked as in a theoretical basis, okay, we can give the answer for this question directly, right? So V equal to 2 to V equal to 3 transition is called a second Hart transition. So the correct option for this question is option D. Okay, yeah, right, yeah. So here we have discussed 10 simple questions on vibrational spectroscopy. We'll discuss more problems, right, as we go along in our regular classes, right? Yeah, I stop here. Thank you.